This isn't really a video about building a spray booth. It's about whether I can finally finish the cars that have been sitting in this workshop for years. Because if I don't get this finished, I can't paint them. And if I can't paint them, honestly, I don't know if they'll ever get finished. You know, I've only put up 2 ceiling boards this evening, and a year ago that would have really bothered me. I would have been trying to push through as hard as I could, but I've learned something about myself. This work absolutely destroys my back and my nervous system. If I keep pushing, I won't just be sore tomorrow, I might lose 2 or 3 more days work. So instead of asking myself, how much can I get done today? I've started asking, how much can I get done every day? So that's why I've done things like build this little ceiling jig, which allows me to slide sheets in and get them into place using less energy. Honestly, you might think this is a waste of time, but in my head, it means I can do another 10 more sheets and the job might be 20% easier. And anything that gets me to that finish line whilst looking after myself is an absolute bonus. You know, I think capability isn't about being the strongest person in the room. It's really about building these systems that allow you to keep going with the projects that you want to finish. I guess at first I was just focused on getting the GT6 bonnet sprayed. But pretty quickly I realised this project wasn't really about paint anymore. It was teaching me about airflow, dust control, and how to build a workshop that actually works. And that's something I'm finding that happens with almost every project, every day. You set out to build one thing, but in the end, you end up building something else too. The thing you're making and the person making it. I honestly thought once that first wall went up that I was a long way down the road of getting this project finished. How little did I know. So we've got most of the OSB up on the ceiling. However, I've left a bit of it out, and the reason for that is I'm now at that point where I need to start figuring out where my lights go. When I first built this workshop, one of the things that I wanted to do was get the same lights absolutely everywhere. Not the same style, the same temperature. And what that means is when you look around my videos and my workshop, everything appears the same. We haven't got yellow lights and white lights. All of the lights in here are a very cool, bright white, which makes it great for working in and also great for filming in. And once we paint this place white, it should effectively double how bright it feels in here, which I'm really excited to see. In terms of lighting design, I'm going to go for 3 lights down each wall and then probably 1 or 2 on the roof. So we should end up with around 7 lights in the booth in total. For now, I'm just happy I've remembered to give myself that access to get the wiring done, which is the next step. Now, I'll be honest, I kind of started the week with a plan, and the plan was get the walls finished, paint them white, start the electrics. But have you ever hit that point in a project where you just start going round in circles? I need to move the English wheel. I need to paint behind the light fix. I need to paint the walls. I need to finish the ceiling. I need to do the wiring. I need to get it done all this week. There's too many things to do. It's paralyzing when you don't know which job to pick first. Sometimes you just need to remember to take a breath. So I did a bit of all of it. And how good is this starting to look? In fact, it looked so good, I had to call my girlfriend while she was on holiday and describe to her just how nice white paint looks on white walls. As you can imagine, she was fascinated. It's funny, I kind of came in here with a plan today of getting the electrics done, but I realized before I got the electrics done, I needed to paint part of the walls to get the lights up. And before I could get the walls done and the painting done, I needed to get the English wheel out of here. And it felt like there was always a task before the task that I wanted to do. And sometimes that can feel really paralyzing for me. But we have these moments where it feels like everything slows down, and then before you know it, you're moving again. I'm really enjoying having you along for these builds and kind of learning with me. If you see anything that you want to kind of know a bit more about or want to show me a better way to do it, drop me a comment. And if you're liking watching the videos, I would love it if you followed along and subscribed. So, dumb mistake for the day. I was running through my light circuit, and the original LEDs that I have in here are 2-core. So they've just got a neutral and a live. They switch on, they work. Now, on the packaging on those lights is a square within a square, and that means they don't need an earth. Now, because I'd fitted those and forgotten a little bit about what I needed to do, when it came to these lights, I fitted 5 of them without checking if they needed to be earthed. And when I was fitting the last one, I was like, what is that yellow wire for? And guess what it needed? So I am now running through my circuit and making sure absolutely everything is earthed. The reason for that is these have metal cases and you don't want them to be running live. So we'll get that all earthed. I'll check it with my voltmeter to make sure we're getting a good earth on everything before it's fully sealed up. But I'm happy I spotted it when I did. When I originally started looking at the lighting for the booth, I decided to put in a double switch for the lighting. Not for any particular reason. I figured I'd have one switch that would switch on all the lights in the booth and it would be good to go. And I'd basically future-proof myself if there was anything else that I wanted to do in there. However, what I have realized is I am not just building a spray booth. I'm essentially creating a clean area, a ventilated area, and a heated area. And what this means is outside of those times where I'm spraying, which is going to be a lot, I'm going to have a space where I can move in there with the sewing machine, with my computer, light sanding, loads and loads of other things that I want to do, I can now do within this clean space. And because of that, I've now changed these switches. So one controls my top lights and the others control my side lights. It's nice to just pump the brakes and take a second to imagine what I'll be doing in this space moving forwards, just how enabling it's going to be for me with projects. And not just that, you know, if you'd asked me 3 weeks ago how long I thought this would take or how easy it would be, it was a much simpler project in my head. And those mistakes I've made over the last few weeks, well, to me, they're not really setbacks. They're just the tuition fees you pay for becoming more capable. Hey, so the purpose of this project was essentially to build a budget booth that would work well enough for me to be able to paint occasionally on my own cars. Now, a real booth is going to set you back, I think, anywhere between £30,000 and £80,000. However, I have been told that you can pick up booths from companies that are going bust for as cheap as £1,000, and sometimes they literally can't even give them away. So that's a really good option to explore around you if you've got a trailer and you have the facility to go and take a booth apart and bring it home. Let's get back to how much this booth has cost me so far. So the original idea, I had some wood, which I thought would do the whole booth. Didn't even touch the sides. So we've spent around about 400 on timber. OSB, I think we're going to go 300 on OSB. Lighting, so we've got the 7 lights inside, £20 a light, 140. Paint is about 30 quid for 10 litres, and I'm going to be using about 20 litres on there, so we're 60 bucks in paint. Fans, we have spent around about 300 on fans. Now I had both of these fans here, so that hasn't cost me that at the moment. Filtration. We've got our G4 filters for intake, and we've got our paint arrestor for extraction, and we have spent around about £120 on filters. I actually don't want to add this up. This was meant to be a cheap booth. It is relatively cheap. Let's keep going. Cabling, I'm going to say we spend 20, 30 quid on cabling. And we've got our diesel heater. So the diesel heater I'd already had for a couple of years, but if you're buying one, you're looking at around about 150 bucks for a similar heater. Now, there are always hidden costs, little things, screws, other things that you need. I'm going to chuck in another 200 bucks easy on the bottom there. And I tell you what, we still haven't finished the booth. But for now, let's see how good my maths is. 7, 840, 9, 1,200, 1,320, 350, 455, 1,700 total spend for our amateur booth. I'm thinking that's pretty good so far, but let me give you a couple of tips on how you can save money like I did. So one way we can save cash is to repurpose. Everyone's got stuff lying around. If you haven't, I'll guarantee you know someone that does. And that's what we've done with these shower screens. Sat around for a couple of years, not used. They've come in here, and now we've got two fantastic places to look through into the booth. So I've been thinking long and hard about how to put a door on here, and I thought about putting on some sort of gated door, but it was gonna get in the way. I then started looking at PVC doors, which are used on temporary professional spray booths, but the money kept adding up and up and up. So it led me to looking around what I had around my workshop. And you might have noticed it in a couple of scenes already, just up there, but there is a black awning that I haven't used from my company Wandering Icons. We hire out Land Rover Defenders, and one of these awnings has just been sat in the booth in the workshop for ages, not doing anything. It's 2.5 by 2.5 meters. It's black plastic. It rolls down, secures the booth front, and it's weighted. And that will give us that full coverage across the front. It is only test fitted at the moment, so I'm going to build a little bit more of a airproof gap, but check that out. Isn't that awesome? These are the kind of things that I absolutely love finding around me that suddenly just make sense for throwing into a project. I tend to pop into my local recycling centre before I go and buy anything new. There's generally an electrical part within the recycling centre, and I was able to go in there, pick myself up plugs and cables, which cost me absolutely nothing. They're sealed, good to go. Came off a lawnmower actually, so if you're looking for a load of cable, lawnmowers are a really good way to go. Got that off there. The other thing that I did, which saved me some cash, was I picked up some paint. Now, 90% of the time, paint is going to be terrible. Give it a sniff, and if it stinks, leave it well alone. But I got lucky, and I've managed to do the first coat in the booth in reclaimed paint. Happy days, saved myself a bit more cash. You know, anyone can build 4 walls. The real challenge is whether I can make this feel like a professional spray booth. That's next week.